let's start off with Tableau. Tableau is a very cool tool, I'll say. If you've been with me through the Datorama journey, you know that Datorama is a pretty um, brainstorming and cerebral tool, I'll say, because there's a lot of learning that has to go in before you start working on it. A lot of coding because it uses Java, a lot of coding, a lot of brainstorming that happens behind the scenes. Mapping is one of the things. You need to understand the lowest level of granularity. You need to understand how is placement mapped with this, that, one-to-one relationships, etc. Definitely these logics are always true for any of the BI tools that you work with. Nowadays that is also getting automated. If you've heard of a tool which has come up called Data IQ, Data IQ is something that I've recently started exploring on, and it's a pretty awesome tool. I guess you guys should also venture around with Data IQ and see the level of data modeling that's happening, and how cloud is playing a beautiful role over there. It's a pretty good tool as well. Now, Tableau is a very cool tool. Tableau has like evolved, as I said, like it was one of the earliest BI tools that had been in the market. It has been catering a lot. It is very easy to connect. It is a pretty essential tool for people who are allergic towards coding. So if you are someone who is allergic towards coding, definitely Tableau is something you will love, because it is pretty easy. It is, though it has calculations, it has calculated fields, but then some of the things are pretty easy to venture out on in terms of Tableau. Tableau is a tool which can connect to a plethora of source data sources, and it caters to huge quantity of data sources that you can connect it to, and it provides with solutions. So let's see how Tableau is essential to us. So before we start off, that's our agenda. We will start with Tableau. We will have an introduction, I guess. Like, it was way more than an introduction that I gave you, because I guess, like, a training should always start on the note where we are working, how we are working as an industry. It's not that, okay, there's a training, chalo, and start off. You have 2 hours, you talk about it. No, it is always a journey, because the training is never a destination. It's always a journey, and it will continue and it will grow. So data connections in Tableau, data joining, blending using Tableau, data extracts in Tableau, what is Kerberos authentication, optimizing performance, calculations, aggregations and table calculations using Tableau. We will learn about box plots, formatting and annotations, filtering data, sorting data, combining groups and sets, hierarchy, how to drill down and hierarchy, total subtotals, mapping, data blending and sorting. That is repetitive, but that we won't go through. Date hierarchies, definitely date is a very important function over there. Then we will go to some dashboard, and then there are some interview level questions. So let's start off. So what do we see over here? We see someone who has a shop, and his goal is to increase revenue within a stipulated period of time, and with all the factors, additional factors that are required with him to run the shop correctly. Correct. So every one of us are facing this issue, I guess, whereby we are, like, the client we work for, always we are always looking for maximizing their revenues, maximizing their profits, finding the relevant insights within a given time, basically giving them with all sorts of inputs which will be required for them. If you consider your client to be the shop, to for the shop to perform better. And once the shop performs better, like, people who are in this industry, they do perform better when they give the right strategies, they give the right overheads, they give, like, oh, you know what, this is your plan versus this is your actuals. what is happening, and these are the caveats that you face in the journey, uh, so on and so forth, right? So, and when you have multiple things, now consider an e-commerce website, say an Amazon, which has, I don't know how many categories do Amazon cater to, but of course, like, it's more than what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe, I don't know, maybe 100. Um, but that didn't happen on in one day, right? So there has to be a proper management system of data that has to go in. Like Amazon started off with books. I guess everyone knows. Amazon started off with as a book delivery organization which used to deliver books online. Mm, Kindle was nowhere in the scene. It was like Jarvis getting built Kindle the time Amazon came up. So it was a tool which actually came up as a book delivery, and then from there they moved on, and today they are ruling the market. This couldn't happen if the data was not managed perfectly, if the inventory was not monitored perfectly, if the entire operation that's going in from procurement till delivery didn't work properly. And for working off that, we need something which will always be a guiding factor to us. So we will always be at a mess if we don't know, like, what are the products in my industry, in my inventory that went unsold, uh, the category for which revenue is going down, the things that I'm selling in the certain geography, how are the things moving across geography. Like, if you are, they say, right, if you are trying to sell a refrigerator to an Eskimo, you are someone who can shine in sales. Or if you are someone who can sell an insurance policy, you are a pro in sales, right? So refrigerator to an Eskimo uh, is one of the puns that people use because it's already freezing cold over there, and why will they want a refrigerator? But if you are the one who can sell, but then, how many refrigerators can one sell to an Eskimo? Likewise, how many things that how many products, there are region specific products even. And then there are global level products. Mm, uh, so there are geography specific products which are sold, but then there are products which sell across geography. So this complicacy of it, that where do I sell, how much do I sell, how much is sold, what is the analytics behind it, what is the traction, how do we look into it, and all sorts of things are something that people are worried on, and they want to move ahead. So then comes, like, when you finally invented the wheel, that okay, these are the factors that are driving my business, and I need to come with all of these analysis together so that I know that how much of my products are getting sold in which geography, how is my business growing or not growing, and of course how much revenue am I churning. So all these things in a holistic manner, when I need, there comes the evolution of business intelligence tools, and namely Tableau being one of the important factors contributing towards this growth, this success. It is one of the age-old tools. As SQL is one very old tool, but then Tableau is not that old, but it's pretty old in the market, and it has seen the evolution of data. So yeah, so Tableau can actually, by means of its visualizations, by means of its capabilities, let someone know that what is your sales, how much is your sales per month, um, month over month comparisons, and then it can tell you, like, in which month did you, how much did you sell, what did you sell, if you didn't sell much, why didn't you sell much, and so on and so forth. So it acts as a driving and guiding factor uh, for the for the people um, who are interested in knowing that, and namely the businesses do use Tableau as a factor. Okay, so that's all about Tableau, and how Tableau has grown, how has it succeeded in the industry, and how is it providing with solutions. And this is if I tell this is Tableau now, I'll be very wrong, because if we are this training is basically a basic Tableau training that we are going through. But if someday we agree on an advanced Tableau training, that will be fun, because today Tableau is no way only churning graphs and visuals. It is way more. It has gone into augmented analytics, and that's one more thing that I forgot to tell you. If you're working with Datorama, you will find a Tableau connector now. So people do use. That's what I was telling. Tableau is a primarily a visualization tool. Um, for me, this is personal opinion, of course. Primarily a visualization tool. Why? Because see, Datorama, it has bought Datorama, and then Salesforce has bought Tableau, and then it has integrated Datorama and Tableau, because there are people who do the because Datorama is a high-end data churning tool, which also does visualization. But then if both the things can come together, whereby I have my APIs configured, I have my harmonization done, I have my mapping done in Datorama, and then I project, whatever I have done as a visual in my Tableau. That was the motto, because people prefer Tableau for visualization way more, I'll say. So um, though Datorama comes up with native and non-native things, this can be a discussion. This can be a someday we will discuss about it. But then Datorama also has a Tableau integration, whereby people want to, after they are done with the data churning, they want to go and see, like, what are the Datorama capabilities, what are the Tableau capabilities I can nurture when I have the background or storage as Datorama. And then comes the augmented analytics, whereby data science has come up. So Tableau comes up in many forms. You have the Tableau desktop, you have the Tableau server. So Tableau desktop is nothing but the desktop application used for, like, data visualization, which facilitates the users to examine um, virtually types of structured and generate structured data, generate graphs, dashboards, what else, reports quickly. Tableau desktop, if you want to have for yourself, you will have to download it, and then you will get a 14-day trial period for you. But then it is a paid thing which requires a license. Tableau is something whereby theory is like in Datorama, we had loads of theory to be discussed, because if I don't discuss the theory, it is barely you will understand anything. But then in Tableau, it is just the opposite. Like, theory is pretty less. I guess today's session, I spoke this much because I wanted to discuss about the industry before we go into, one of the primary leaders of the industry. But then, it will be easy for you if you have an instance of Tableau for yourself. So Tableau Desktop gives you a 14-day trial. If you don't have a license for yourself, no worries. You can still download it. Of course, like, I'm sure you will have an admin thing. So do consult with them and do ask them. If you have licenses, that's nothing like it. But if you don't have licenses, also you can ask your admin that I want to have the Tableau desktop in my machine. Can you please assist me on that? And for that, you'll get a 14-day license period. And then, it's all about the organization's discretion, how they want to give you the access. So Tableau Server is the next thing. What is Tableau Server? It's a browser-based analytics platform which anyone can utilize. It's basically a rapid fire alternative to the traditional BI tools. Tableau Server basically is an interesting platform which helps you to connect data and publish data into the server as well. So many a times people do what they do is they get their server instance, and in the server itself you can publish right from your data source. You can publish things over there. You know, we will come to a concept of live connection and extract connection, whereby live is a live connection. uh, it's always real time, whereas an extract is a mirror version of that live thing which we use. But then, data is always updating for us, right? So Tableau server is something which is real time. Oh yeah, so live connection will always have a live medium, right? So it can be an Excel, it can be a Google Sheet, it can be a SQL server, it can be an AWS, it can be a Redshift, it can be a Amazon S3 bucket. So whatever is your DB, that is of least concern. But the thing is, whatever is your DB, if it is not robust enough, what happens is, in a live scenario, when you have loads of data, if forget loads of data, if it is like, even GBs of data in there, Tableau starts to lag, because what it does is it works like an interpreter, whereby once you change a filter or something, it starts calculating from the initial point and it goes till the end, and then it basically throws up the result. And again, when you go from one to the other, it basically starts computing and calculating. So we are not concerned with that. We don't want that to happen. What we want is something which is smooth enough, right? So Tableau server is something from where we can, and if we have time, I'll show you how to create an empty extract as well. So which basically means that I'll do a extract which is not live, but that is in server and it is live. Oh, that was very confusing. And don't worry. I'll explain, like, what I mean with that. So that's how Tableau server can be utilized. You can publish your workbooks in Tableau server. You can edit them in Tableau server even, but then, it is always advisable that you download your workbook from Tableau server, work on it, and then publish it back. So that's Tableau server, which is browser based. Then comes Tableau Online. It's a secure cloud-based app solution, for sharing and collaborating on Tableau views and dashboards. So it's basically, Tableau Online is for collaboration, small changes, small things that you want to change. It's basically on a collaboration thing, whereby you want to share it more. And nowadays Tableau is device compliant even, right? So when it is device compliant, you can also go ahead and publish. So yeah, so Tableau Online is basically for collaborating and going through the dashboarding and sharing it. So yeah, I was telling you that Tableau is device compliant now, so you can see your dashboards in mobiles and other handheld devices as well. So there comes Tableau Online. Next comes Tableau Public. Tableau Public is a free software to facilitate anyone to connect to a spreadsheet or a file and create, interactive database visualizations, and stuff. Only hiccup which you will face in Tableau Public is, you're not supposed to publish any kind of confidential data into Tableau Public. Why? Because Tableau Public is visible to everyone, and Tableau Public, if you publish any of your confidential data, it is basically accessible to the entire community, Tableau community, and that is not desirable. So always, Tableau Public is free, so you can go with your Tableau Public You can use your Tableau public, but please keep in mind that you don't share any confidential data or any confidential, like, your daily report, you want to go and publish it to Tableau public. Please don't do that, because if you do that, it's entirely public. You don't need to publish, even you don't connect your confidential data as well. Nowadays tracking is very heavy and high, so I'll say, like, why to take a risk in Tableau public? Always have Tableau public with yourself, because it is free and it will help you to do all the free shits. But then don't connect your personal data, don't connect your uh, confidential client data to Tableau public. Tableau Reader is a free app and open to interact with data and visualizations built in Tableau desktop. It's basically done to filter and drill down the humongous loads of data visualization that you have. So it's basically to read. It's basically to see the dashboards, to the stories, whatever you have done in Tableau. It basically goes ahead and sees for itself, like, what is being done in the workbook level. And it's not that robust. It's um, not that robust in terms of editings and stuff. So you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so features of Tableau. Tableau is very heavy on security. We will come to the security part of it in the next slide, I guess. It has the Kerberos authentication, which basically means SSO authentication. Um, so if you guys, I hope you guys know what is SSO authentication, like, whereby you need to go ahead with your business IDs and uh, OTPs, and then there are authenticators, whereby the Salesforce, like Salesforce Authenticator, or the Google, like, GCP, the Google Cloud Platform Authenticator, something like that, whereby you have an authenticator that boosts security of it. Collaboration and sharing, definitely collaboration and sharing is one of the primary and easy objectives that Tableau meets up, because it goes ahead and collaborates. You can collaborate with whoever you want to. In Datorama, we had faced this question. I don't know who had asked me, but then someone had asked me if I want to restrict my dashboards from, like, each other. It will be a dashboard, but then I'm just alluding the question because I vaguely remember it. That if I have a dashboard and then I don't want everyone to see every part of the dashboard, can I do that? Over here, yes, collaboration and sharing is pretty easy in Tableau, and you can share it in any form you want to. You can share it in any way you want to. You can share it in any devices that you want to. So, we have the computers and handheld devices, so everything is pretty easy. In terms of dashboard sharing, you can share it through Tableau server, whereby you can, like, there's a server, you go ahead and publish your workbook to the Tableau server, and you give the server level accesses. You maintain the server level accesses, like who can edit, who cannot edit, who can see what, who cannot see at all. So those things can be done. Trends and predictive, yes, trends definitely, because we have a varied amount of charts, we have tables, we have visuals, and everything that comes in between that helps us with, monitoring trends, and the predictive analysis part of the thing which we were talking of, augmented analytics. We have that. We can do all sorts of things over there. Live and in memory data. Yes, Tableau is having this feature whereby you can connect live data and you can work real time. But real time performance in the current edition is better, because it handles. I've seen the cache in memory. The cache works pretty fine when we talk of the live data, and in memory data is nothing but an extract, which basically acts as one of the key factors in the data sources. But then when we talk of the in-memory data, it also means that whatever your data source is, you will always connect whenever you connect the data source the to the platform. There is in-memory data storage with Tableau, which basically will always back it up as an instance of the data source, and it will help you to smoothen your task. That's why when you always publish your data workbooks now in Tableau server, what happens is you published your workbooks, then you get a notification that go ahead and publish the data source even. So what happens if you don't publish the data source? It always goes and it will not find the data source anywhere, right? Because the data source lies somewhere in your SQL instance or in your desktop or in an Excel file. So once you go into the server and you don't publish it, no, what happens is it finds your source, but it doesn't get. But once you do a publish your source into the Tableau server, what happens is there's one mirror image of your data source that happens in the server, and it basically helps you with smoother transition of it. And that server level source will also get updated as soon as your workbook gets updated and published. The updated data source also gets updated, and once you publish, always always publish your data source into the server as well. Informative view and mobile view, definitely informative, yes, because it has everything. Tableau, when we talk of Tableau, it basically facilitates us with uh, all sorts of all sorts of visuals that we want to, all sorts of graphs and visuals that we expected to throw up. And then if there are no not if that is not possible, there are very easy, what should I call it? I love the term jugaad. Jugaad solutions which basically help you to achieve what you want to. Data sources, as we have talked about it, data sources are in varied forms. There are live data sources and extract data sources, which I guess is covered in the next set of slides, and we will take it through. Okay, so advantages of Tableau are remarkable visualization, ease of use, high performance, mobile friendly, and rich community. Okay, so before we talk of data connections, I just want to take you through the interface once. So that's how it looks like. That's how it doesn't look like. This is Tableau Public. Let me see if I can manage a license for you guys tomorrow so that I can show you the exact amount of data sources it can connect to. But for now, it's fairly easy and it looks fairly easy as well. So we can take the take take a file and we can see how it looks like. So this is one of the files, and Tableau as Datorama was as well. It considers the qualitative aspects of the data, which basically talks about quality of data in the system as dimensions, and the ones which are quantitative, namely these. So mm, these are regarded as quantitative metrics, and these are called measures. So we have dimensions and we have measures in our data set, and that's how we work with the data sets as well. So it's fairly easy to connect the data sets. You have these options over here. So if you go to Excel and then if you just connect your data, you will see that there's an instance happening. So uh, you must have seen that whenever in other tools as well, whenever there are tabs in your data, as we see that my Excel has tabs, right? Orders, people, returns. We have tabs. Those tabs get highlighted over here in the system as well, whereby you can see the tabs coming up. So what you need to do is you need to whatever tab you require, you need to just drag it up. Hmm. Drag it up in the pane, and you can see that the once you drag it up, you can see that the data preview comes up, right? So row ID, order ID, everything that we have seen. A data preview of the orders tab, which is this tab, which is only this tab, that data preview comes up in this as well in the pane. And from here itself, you can get a first-hand view of your data, and you can get a first-hand view of your data, and you can see that um, you know uh, that how things are in the data, and then you go ahead with your manipulations that you so that's how you connect your data. Let's go back to the PPT again. So after completing this lesson, you will be able to connect the tab. You will know how to connect to Tableau data server, differentiate between joins and blending, discuss the various connection options, understand how Tableau server works, and how Kerberos authentication works, understand the various performance optimization techniques, extracts, and how what are the different use case methods to prepare your data for analysis. Okay, so as we have read about these factors, so let's see how we connect our data to Tableau. Tableau server, I don't have a connection to Tableau server, but once you have connection to Tableau server, what you need to do is first you need to click on Tableau server, and in the start screen, and then you need to have a server name, which is basically the local host domain that you need to put up, and then you need to type your username and password to sign in. Okay, so once you sign into your Tableau server, you basically get the entire access of it to download any data, to publish anything, to publish your data sources, etc. So once connected to Tableau server, you need to select a server data source. On the data menu, you need to select the data source and download a local copy. You can create a local copy, you can create a duplicate data source in the data window itself. And as it is shown, you can download things from your server. Okay, before we jump into joins and blending, um, like firstly, I want to understand what is the level, are you guys well versed with joins? And then the data, like the names suggest, left joins and right joins. Like we go ahead and we fetch up whenever we are doing a left join all the data that comes to my left and all the data that comes to the right. And full outer join is nothing but everything between two between two data sources. Uh, Everything comes up in the full outer join, right? So join, we are not going into joins much and understanding what is join. If you are someone who knows join, go ahead. If you are someone who doesn't know join, please go and revise your joins chapter. It's fairly easy. So once you know it. So a join has following characteristics. When connected to a relational database and files, you can combine data from multiple tables or files with the help of joins. Okay, I'll just stop over there. Let me first, before I go into joins and before I go into these things, let me just take a tour of you guys through the tool once, because that is much more a component for today's session. We will take up joins and then blending and then everything in the next session. But then, let's take a tour of what happens after we are connected with the data source. Now I have connected the orders sheet from samples to per store connection. So this is where your connections, in connections, you will get to see the data source that you have connected. If you go and click on the drop down, you will see edit connection coming up. You can, whatever files you want to update, you can go ahead and update it. Rename, if you want to rename your data set, you can go ahead and rename it. Okay, so over here we have this. We will talk about joins and stuff here. There is something like, there are multiple filters present in Tableau, but we will learn about those multiple filters that are there in Tableau. But one of the primary filter that Tableau gives you. Now this is a very important, a very tricky. I'll say, when you are attending, I shouldn't say that while you're attending an interview in this session, but then in a general knowledge, if someone asks you, if someone asks you what are the types of filters that you see, or that you see in Tableau, you will know that you will see that, people talk of all the filters, but this one. But this is one of the primary level filters that comes up in Tableau, and which is very important as a filter. So this is one of the quickest filters that you can have for yourself. If someone from Datorama is here, you remember data load rules we used to use, whereby we used to filter from the initial step. This is also not the initial step. There is one more initial step that happens if you are getting your data through any SQL server now, SQL server or S3 buckets. That is the first level of filtration, I'll say, whereby you can just take or curate your data or tailor make your data from the SQL server itself, and get your data inside Tableau. But then if you are an Excel, if you are someone who is connecting his or her Excel into data streams, uh, first level of filter that you can do is, you can do a quick filter in your data source, and that's how you do it. You go to this filter, type an add. Once you add over here, just think the customer ID to be, you know um, your product ID, or your agency ID, or mm, your publisher ID, whatever. So you need only, say, three or four three or four of them. And if you hit an OK, what happens is keeps 5 members and removes everything. So it will always custom itself. So, and it will always custom itself to the filter that you have given. And if you see, there is one filter that is there, right? So we can go and remove filter anytime, and it will show up everything. Now over here as well, we have like, four different options, which are called general, wildcard, condition, and top. So if we go to general, what happens is we get the list of things, list of cities, list the entire list that we have. Custom value list is, like, we can create, whereby we can search. So say, suppose Albuquerque is the one which you are searching, or this is a very, very, like, Acron. We have Acron. So in your custom value, you can go and type Acron and see that something called Acron comes up over here, and that can be one of the things. Use all, whatever. Wildcard is a very interesting thing whereby you can match value that contains, starts with, ends with, and exactly matches. We will see like examples, but when we are in the quick filter, let me cover these things as well. So contains basically is, right, like once a string contains something, so that's where you use a contains formula. Starts with whatever you wish to as a matching value, if it starts with that, if it ends with it, or if it exactly matches, then select it. We will see wildcards in the coming sessions. Conditions by field. So like we are over here by field. If I want to see something that I'm filtering city, so I may have like city, if I'm taking city which has a sales sum, say suppose less than, I'm not sure what are the numbers over here, but then you know say I see 200 and then I see 16. So if I have like which is less than 200, and if I hit an OK, has multiple members, and if you hit an OK, oh, it's gone. I guess nothing like that is there. So let me just remove this and then do it. Anyways, so I'll look into the data and we will do it. So basically you can put conditions in here and then top, like by field, top 10 category count. We will see these things, how these things work. Okay. So these are the top filtering options that you have apart from your general filtering that comes up. So you can go ahead and look into the various filtering options for yourself. So these are some of the filtering options that you have from the start.